Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, I have a story for you here today titled, Wife Denied Me for Years, so I kicked her out and now she is pissed. You know, I see a lot of stories like this, guys, where wives will refuse to have intimacy with their husband and they'll throw out 1,000,001 excuses. Okay, oh, I've got a headache, or oh, you know, I'm too tired, all of these sorts of things. And then you flash forward a couple of years and then the women are shocked that the men just leave them, right? That the men don't want to be in marriages, they don't want to be in relationships, okay, where their wives are not even interested in them. And I would say this is totally fair. This is justified, okay? Men are required to provide. We're required to protect. You know, we're required to be stoic and so on and so forth. But the moment the man wants any sort of, I don't know, reciprocity in the marriage, everybody loses their marbles. Isn't that fantastic? But let's jump into today's story here. It's a 37-year-old man, and he's recounting how years of rejection, emotional distance, and one-sided effort in his marriage finally pushed him to make a hard decision. After calmly asking his wife to leave, her response wasn't remorse, it was rage. So let's jump into it. I'm a 37-year-old man. My now ex-wife is 35. We were married for almost 9 years, so that's a long marriage for people in their 30s, at least as far as today's standards go. In the early days, things were great, okay? But somewhere along the line, things changed. And not in the way that you would notice overnight. It started with fewer compliments, less hand-holding, less flirting, etc. Eventually, it became no affection at all. No intimacy, no warmth, just two people sharing a house and pretending that they were still in love. Let's go back to this part I skipped, okay? Because he says, we were trying to build something. We weren't rich, but I worked hard. She worked part-time, and we built a nice life together. Okay, so it sounds like he's doing most of the work. He's working hard. She's working part-time. So this guy probably either has his own business or is working full-time or whatever. She's working part-time. Again, I want you guys to notice, okay, dudes often really downplay this stuff, but usually the men are doing a lot of the financial heavy lifting as well in these situations. You know, their wives and girlfriends refuse to cook, there's no intimacy and so on, and the dude's paying all the bills as well. It's like, I guarantee you guys, the women would not be there if the men weren't at least providing in some capacity. If the men were not useful, the women would not be there whatsoever, right? People will always say, oh, men are so cruel, men are so controlling. It's like, let's be honest, guys, the women would not be here if the men did not provide anything, right? And men understand this, right? If you're a dude, you've got nothing, nobody cares about you. Much less women, by the way. Women certainly don't care. You're struggling, you've got no money, no ability to provide, you're not highly attractive, you're invisible. They don't care. Anyway, let's continue. But somewhere along the line, things changed. Okay. By year 5, our bedroom fund life was basically dead. I'm not exaggerating, once every 3 or 4 months, and even then it felt like I was begging. And I never approached her in a crude or disrespectful way. I tried to be emotionally present, helped around the house, listened when she vented, and even initiated date nights to rekindle the spark. Her excuses were always the same. Again, before we even jump into her excuses here, guys, please understand that this is all the crap that she's telling him to do, right? Because she's like, oh, well, this will help. I'm too tired because, you know, I didn't have time to do the dishes today. You need to do the dishes. Even though they wouldn't even have any dishes if this guy didn't buy them, probably. You know what I mean? Wouldn't even have a house to do dishes in, I would assume, okay? And yet she's trying to get him to do, arguably, I would say, guys, if this guy's the breadwinner, she's trying to get him to do her jobs, in my opinion. Right? She's not helping around. Like, why is she not helping around the house? She works part-time, the dude works full-time. I would argue the man's probably paying the majority of the bills, if not all of them. And she's asking him to help around the house and things like that. Listen to her venting, be emotionally present. Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. So here are her excuses. I'm tired. I don't feel attractive. You're pressuring me. You're only being nice because you want something. Yeah, kick the woman out, man. You can pressure. You know, I really don't like this idea, man, because again, men don't like the idea of pressuring women. No husband out there is like, oh, let me pressure my wife. You know, men don't enjoy that. Okay. In fact, a lot of guys, if they feel like they're pressuring, they just won't try with you at all. They won't talk to you. They won't initiate anything because you've told the man that, you feel like he's pressuring you. So he's simply not going to do it. Right? How about you pressure your way out of the damn house, madam? Holy hell. Over time, I just stopped asking. Yeah, there it is, right? I stopped trying. It was humiliating to keep getting turned down and treated like I was some desperate teenager. But it wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. Never complimented me, never initiated affection, never asked how I was doing. I became a roommate with a wallet. There you go. Insane. We went to counseling. Oh my goodness. More money down the drain, by the way. She promised to try. Things would get better for a week or two, and then right back to cold silence. One therapist even asked her directly, do you feel any desire or affection towards your husband? And she said, I don't know. That moment stuck with me. I was sitting across from the woman I married, hearing that she didn't even know if she wanted me anymore and had no plan to figure it out. Yeah, this is the point where we need to develop some self-respect and throw the woman out. A few months ago, I came home from work and she was on the couch scrolling Instagram. I asked how her day was and she grunted. I sat down and said, I feel like you don't love me anymore, do you? She shrugged, didn't even look up and said, I care about you, but I don't think I'm in love with you. We are comfortable. I nodded, stood up, went to the bedroom, grabbed a few things, and told her to pack her bags within a week. Her head snapped up like she had just been slapped. She said, what? You've denied me affection, intimacy, and respect for years. I'm done living like a ghost in my own house. You wanted a roommate, now you don't even have that. And she flipped out. Yeah, she would not be happy with this. And again, just notice the behavior, by the way, in these interactions. The women clearly don't care. The only time this woman cares, by the way, and many of these wives actually care, is when their lives are directly impacted, okay? And what I mean by that is now she's required to go out there and pay the rent, okay? That's when they pay attention. They don't pay attention when you list all of the issues previously. You know what I mean? They don't care before then. But the moment you say, hey, listen, like, I'm done being disrespected, you have to leave, now all of the attention is there. You see what I'm saying? That's when she starts to care about the situation. So she flipped out. Suddenly, all of that cold distance vanished. She was crying, screaming, calling her mother. Calling her mother? What the hell? Like, hey, mother, he's kicking me out of the house because I'm terrible. Oh, no. Accused me of abandoning her, told mutual friends I was a coward who gave up. Funny how when I begged for connection, I was needy, but when I finally left, now I'm the villain. Yep, that's how it works, my friend. She moved out 3 weeks later. I didn't fight over the house. I gave her a fair financial settlement, even though I could have been way more aggressive. I just wanted out. Again, I don't think these women should get crap, guys. I really don't. Right? Whatever you bought into the marriage is what you should leave with, in my opinion. You didn't buy it, you shouldn't get it. You didn't pay the mortgage, shouldn't get equity in the house. Simple as that. I wake up in silence now, and it feels good. it's just, oh man, it's just like men will go through these situations, man, and after a couple weeks pass, they're like, "Hey, this isn't so bad. I can go fishing now." You know, or like, hey, I can watch a movie without the woman complaining about the volume, or like men just understand how stress-free life is all of a sudden. I find that to be so funny. He's like, I wake up in silence now, and it feels great. I think a lot of men come to that conclusion. They really do, especially the older guys, man. They love that conclusion. They really do. No tension, no cold shoulders, no walking on eggshells. I've reconnected with old friends, started going to the gym, took a solo trip, and for the first time in years, I feel like myself, not some rejected, invisible version of me. She still texts sometimes. Why have you not blocked her number? Usually passive-aggressive jabs like, hope she's giving you what I wouldn't. I don't respond. But she's right. She didn't give, she withheld. She treated the relationship like a test. I was always failing, and now she's mad that I finally stopped showing up for an exam that I didn't sign up for. Man, I agree with this. I think this dude was well within his rights to get the woman out. She's clearly not even interested in being there. Okay, Lord knows, again, guys, the women wouldn't be there in the first place if the men weren't actively doing something for them. And this shouldn't be this shouldn't even be considered a duty, by the way. It really shouldn't, right? Because women are out here marrying men that they have no interest in simply because they want money and they want to be taken care of. That's all that it is. And people will say, you know, oh, Women deserve to be in marriages and things like this, right? Like, so what, the dude's not as attractive. But here's the thing, guys, these women are going out here, they're dating a whole bunch of guys, completely ruining their ability to actually find their future husbands attractive and desirable, and then complaining about it, feeling like they settled. Of course you feel like you settled because you're out here hooking up with dudes who you shouldn't have been beforehand. Like these men that you, quite frankly, couldn't afford. And now you're complaining because you feel like you're settling, you're not attracted to your husband and things like this. I don't really have a lot of empathy. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.